that they can also tune in for people who are not available, in person to show up. So I'm very hands-on.
I think I would like to hear that more of it as we enter into the real conversation, because that will be exciting for young people like you to know that they can use their talents to serve in the church. They can use their talents, because I know you are not on payroll. Are they paying you salary for that every month?
No, it's a service.
Yeah, so it's interesting to know that, and that will be good. At times, I wish you are in Nairobi. You would have been of a great service to Solution Center. But of course, you've been there for 20-something years before you left, and I'm sure we will talk about it. So I'm happy that you're serving other ministers of God in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm glad, because when pastors get people like you, we also have wonderful people in our church, in Solution Center, who are both staff and non-staff volunteers, and they are doing a great deal of work. I mean, a great job. They go there, like you said, very early. They are also actually number one that gets to the church to set up things. And without them, these online services couldn't have worked. So young people like you, no wonder Solomon said, "Hear ye the conclusion of the whole matter. Serve the Lord, fear the Lord." So Solomon had to admonish young people that you better serve the Lord when you can, when your body is strong. I want to remember how I used to serve God when I was 20-something years. All we were breathing in was service of God, service of God. At 20-something, it was service of God, service of God, service of God, and of course our academics and other things. And here we are not yet tired. We have not yet retired. So we are so happy that young people can find their footings in the kingdom of God. So right now, I believe we have one minute to the peak of the hour, just 1 minute, and we will hit the road. We will hit the road. I'm sure you're prepared. Right there, you're right in your house in Atlanta, Georgia. So I can see already you have a studio. You have something that is behind that shows that this is the life of somebody who is in the media world, on the digital platform. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. And I love your T-shirt. I'm sure we'll be talking about it. It's called hoodie or something like that.
Yeah, this is a hoodie.
All right. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. What's the weather like in Atlanta,
the weather
Georgia?
Right now, the weather is amazing. It's been raining a little bit, but as far as the sun is concerned, it has been shining. And we're blessed to have an amazing weather. Everybody's doing well. It's a Sunday. So the weather is not too hot. It's not too cold. You can go out. You can take a walk. You can feel the breeze. So it's like Nairobi weather, if I put it like that.
Okay. And how is the COVID-19 situation there? We are praying for you guys. How is it?
It's getting better, because I can't say it's getting worse, because that's not positive thinking. So we are getting better. There have been rules and regulations that have been placed in the past. Some policies had to be moved. We had some procedures we had to amend. But all in all, people are staying safe. You can't even be talked to. Like, let's say you want to get coffee. You can't even get coffee without having a mask on, because nobody's going to serve you. And it's the way of life now. But because everybody is taking precaution, everybody is mind conscious about their health. So Atlanta, Georgia is doing well. We're not so bad, we thank God. But we're hoping for better days.
All right. So right now we want to get right inside the show in the proper sense of it. And so I want to formally and officially welcome our viewers from across the globe. This is Keep It Real with Pastor Dr. Esther Obasi-ike. This is a vision God gave me within the pandemic to be able to boost the psychological, emotional, intellectual immunity of God's people across the globe, and helping them to navigate through the pandemic and also to excel in the post pandemic. So with me tonight is our first son, Favor Okechukwu Obasi-ike. I want us to welcome him with a clap. I normally call it clap ovation because I can't stand right now here because if I stand, you won't see my face. But wherever you are, just welcome our guest tonight, Pastor Favor Okechukwu Obasi-ike. Give him a round of applause.
Hey.
Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause.
Hey.
And in Kenya, we do ta la 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 la, re 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 re, ro 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 ro, ta ra 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 ra, bru 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 bru.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, Favor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Please share. Before we begin, make sure you are sharing. I love you people because you know you believe so much in what we do, how it's impacting lives. So please help me to share. I'll keep on reminding you. And today I saw that even our spiritual children, during my sermon earlier today, they were writing and telling people, share. So please, my children keep telling people, share. You know, that's my language. Life is about sharing. A sharing life is a living life. There are people who live. There are people who are exist. I don't exist. I live. And one way to know we live is by sharing. And not just sharing what we are doing tonight. Life is all about sharing. So please share. All right.
Yeah.
Favor, in 1 or 2 minutes, who are you?
Who am I? As we all know, my name is Favor Okechukwu Obasi-ike. I am a Nigerian by birth, but I have lived in Kenya for over 20 years. And currently, I'm about to round out my second master's degree in an MBA in business administration. My first master's was entertainment business at Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And then I also did my bachelor's in communication and arts in media. And I also did a minor in peace and conflict. That was back at Daystar University. I went to At the River for 3 years, then I went to Valley Road for 1 year before I graduated. I've also been able to accumulate a lot of knowledge, a lot of insights, just learning as I go, you know, since I was a young boy, because we can go as far back as Kenya when I was 2 years old. And I remember when you gave me the story when I landed in the airport.
You remember that story? Hey, yeah. Okay, you want to tell people that story?
Yeah, it's you.
It's my story, but it's your story. Okay, go on. What happened? I'm sure the world, we really want to know what happened when we landed at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in January 1996. Go ahead. I'll tell them little.
So we landed, and I don't know what happened, but first of all, I believe when I was a child, I was very, very active, and I'm still very active. I can wake up, sleep, wake up. But when I was a child, I think it was 10 times the energy because, you know, as a child, you always have sugar levels going all the way up. So when we landed, for some reason, I don't remember, but I was told that I didn't have any clothes when we got to this airport because there was no clothes to change because I already messed up with the first one when we flew in. And I think the bag already checked in, so we didn't have.
I checked in, correct.
We checked it in, yeah. So there was no other extra bag to change the diapers. And so I landed like Adam to Kenya.
I will explain better. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I did that, grew up in Kenya. I did my kindergarten. I went to a few Kenyan schools. I also did Sunshine. I don't know if you guys know that, but I went to Sunshine Secondary School when I was 13. I've been to a lot of British schools, Cambridge schools. That's where I graduated from Brookhouse. I was in Rusinga School. I can't remember.
St. Christopher is our home. Was the home for
yes,
it.
Yes, St. Christopher's. And that's where also my brother finished. And, you know, he ended up being a big prefect and he became, you know, a household name for the school. So it has been a great time in Kenya. And right now that I'm living in Atlanta, I thank God for the journey.
Wow, wow, wow. What a history. What a beautiful, beautiful history. Ladies and gentlemen, Favor was a force to reckon with when he was a baby. In fact, in our church in Nigeria, RCCG, Acme, Dominion Parish, Acme, whenever favor arrived, the head usher will announce to the rest of the ushers, favor has arrived, everybody be at your duty post. Because if you were not at your duty post, before you know it, favor will be at the altar with whichever pastor that was there and be, you know, jumping up and down. When we go to camp, you know, in Nigeria, our redemption camp was a massive place with millions of people. You have to use a rope to tie him, otherwise you will lose him in the camp. So when we were coming to Kenya, because I knew this boy, I had to get a friend of mine to follow to the airport, because I knew if I would be busy with the checking the staff, I may lose him at the airport in Lagos. So a friend of mine followed, Njideka by name. The only job she did was to hold favor as I was checking in. When I finished checking in, of course, as we are going to immigration, we got to immigration, they said my friend could not access beyond immigration. I said, God, I'm in trouble. So I told her bye-bye. I took favor. Just for me, when they gave me immigration paper to fill where we were going, all those stuff, I checked, I didn't see my child again. I was looking for our son. I started screaming in the airport. As I was screaming, what is happening? I had some people, custom people saying, who has this child? Who owns this child? I thought it was favor. I said, give me, it's my son, my son. Favor left in a twinkle of an eye that I was filling immigration form. Favor left and went to, I think, the boss of custom, somewhere, went to their office. So they knew this must be a boy that has left the parents, and they started looking for me. Now we entered and boarded the flight. You think the story ended there? The man that sat next to us, we boarded the Ethiopian airline. The man that sat between next to us, he saw things that day. Oh my God. Favor will not allow this man to sleep. Favor will not allow this man. Favor will be touching him until eventually the air hostess, they served us food. When he ate, he reacted to the food and vomited and was diarrheaing everywhere, messed up. Me, the man, I pitied that man. And you know, I had already checked in our luggage. So in my hand luggage, I had only few clothes and diapers for him. So all of a sudden, he slept. Few minutes later, he woke up. He started again vomiting. I don't know how he really reacted to that food. Ladies and gentlemen, that was why when we landed at Jomo Kenyatta Airport, our son had only a t-shirt up, no pants, no trouser, no shoe, no socks, because everything was messed up. It was just one tiny t-shirt that I put on him. You think he ended there with nakedness? As soon as we got to immigration in Nairobi, I was to sign form. Favor disappeared at Jomo Kenyatta. I was hearing custom people, immigration asking, who is the owner of this child? I turned, I saw one naked boy with just one shirt. I said, give me my child. By the time we finished and came out, Daddy was outside with the Lester Waco's family waiting for us. He looked at us, he saw his son naked with one little shirt. Oh my God.
Wow.
Today, this boy, he looks gentle. He is that. I believe his children will teach him some small lesson when he gets back. You will see them doing exactly what he was doing. Anyway, that's part of the keep it real. You know, it's keep it real. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we keep it real. This is where we keep it real. Yeah. Make sure you share. Make sure you let people know that we have a story to tell as a family. Okay, Favor, before we go into issues of profession and stuff, can you just greet Kenyans or East Africans in Swahili? Tell them some things, you know, let them know that you are a bona fide citizen of this great nation and beautiful nation. This is where you learned how to talk very well. This is where you learned so many things. I want you to speak to the Swahili speaking group people in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, that's a lot.
Yeah, you have friends. You need to reconnect with your friends in Delta, in Rusinga, in Brook House. Let them know.
Yes, sasa tutaanza na hii maneno. Habari yenu, saseni, tuendelee au sio? Sasa niko hapa, niko Atlanta na nimefurahi sana. So sasa tuko hapa mbele yako na niko na mama hapa. So everybody that is looking at us, I'm also translating it for people who don't understand in Swahili. I've just also said that habari yenu is like, how are you? It's like saying hamjambo or hatujambo. That's a response. So saseni is like, because we're talking to so many people, so I can't say sasa. So saseni, you know, tuendelee is let's keep going. I'll see you or not. So yes, tuendelee.
All right. Beautiful. I'm so happy that you can speak Swahili. But do you remember, you are speaking Swahili like nothing, and yet when you went to Sunshine, you disappeared from, you were crying in the school. You remember what happened in Sunshine? I took you to Sunshine to start school.
I didn't want to
you got to Sunshine and you were not taking your shower. I came on the visiting day and you were black. I asked, you have not bathed for days, nights. And what was the problem? You said they were bathing with cold water. You were not used to cold water. Our son never took shower for days. I said, what is it? He said, take me away from here. Take me away. And I had come to your school with my mom, my own mom. My mom looked at you and said to me, life is not only about academics. This boy is dying. Carry his box. And I remember I bought your box from the Komba market.
Blue box. The blue box that you had.
The blue box. The blue box. I went to the Komba somewhere, I don't know where. I bought the box, I came, took it to school, came back for Parents' Day. I came with my mother. Our son has not showered for days and nights. And you remember what you did when there was exam for Kiswahili? You entered the class. And what did you do on the exam day?
I wrote my name and I went out.
He was not understanding even common Swahili. He didn't know Kuja. He didn't know Joe. So he went to exam class, wrote for them. It was Swahili exam. He wrote their favor Obasi-ike, submitted his paper, left. So I look at you today. You can speak Swahili, you can teach Swahili, you can do anything. I thank God for mom. My mother just look at you and with the eyes of an elderly woman, experience, having taken care of us 6 children, she called me. She said, let this boy go. This boy is not happy. Carry his things. I came back and discussed with daddy and he said, it's okay. I came back and brought you because your problem, you had 2 problems, bathing with cold water, and then you were not understanding Swahili.
Right.
So you felt that you were misplaced. But you remember we took you there for discipline. We removed you from, it was discipline actually. You were not serious in school, so we kept on, where is this boy going? You think life is just to be playing. I discussed with then Pastor Magdalene Sang, who was the powerful principal there, one of our ministers in church. She was the principal then, and Sunshine was a school to reckon with those years. They were topping. So I told her, she said, bring favor, bring him. I bought the box, took you there. When we saw how you were, even the biscuits I bought for you, you never ate. When you didn't eat biscuit was when I knew that, hey, this is a serious matter. If ever we not eat biscuit, I better carry him home. And that was how we carried you and took you back. And you wrote us a letter. We never been disciplined, we never disobeyed. We told you to write 300 words. I think it was it 300 words?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, yeah. Write it. I will read. I will never disobey my parents. I will read. You finish reading and say, I will never. And you went back and became serious. This is keep it real. You need to know how we parented our children when they were younger and how we are still parenting them now. We are not just pastors you see every Sunday on the podium, and we are not just those pastors that you see, talking to you about discipline, but we don't bring discipline home. No, he was not serious with his academics, and we told him, let's take you to where they will teach you a lesson. And we took him to that place. By the time he pleaded to be brought out from that school, we made him to write a commitment letter, a serious commitment letter. And he wrote that commitment letter and became serious. All right. Favor, say something about your salvation, how you got born again.
So how I got born again was it's actually, I put it like this. You know, when they say that where you're placed, sometimes it's just for a season because there's a bigger fish, there's a bigger land coming at you. So we were already based in Kenya, but I gave my life to Christ in Uganda. And this was when I was still a child, when I was still young. I don't think I was 13 yet. And
you were 12 years old.
I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. So I remember you were preaching, I think you went for a meeting and I was at the back. I was at the back with the other kids. So I remember when it was time for altar call, I just stood up and I walked. You know, usually as a kid, because I'm not afraid of an audience, but because of that conviction, I just stood up and I walked there. And then ever since that day, I actually now recorded my first album in music, which right now is even available on all social platforms. Yeah, so after I gave my life to Christ.
Yeah, you froze.
Oh,
can you repeat? Yeah,
okay.
You froze. What did you say you did after the salvation? You recorded something?
Yeah, I recorded my first album. That was 2005, and it was with the privilege of Daddy taking me to Andrew Crawford Studios back in 2005, and that's when I did my first music album. It was a gospel album, and now it's even available on all platforms. If you search Flav Beats, thank you, you will see me playing drums when I was a child. So it started from back then, and I used music as a way of communicating with God because music is powerful, and I have been able to understand what music takes and what it needs to, to connect with the source of who gave you the talent. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been rocky, but I'm far better than I was when I started.
Excellent. Maybe somebody is watching us and you're wondering, our first son gave his life to Christ when he was 12. Yeah, that should encourage you. We brought him here when he was 2 years and few weeks old, and he came and he was all over the church everywhere. But we didn't understand, we kept thinking that he understood. We kept thinking he understood until when we went to Kampala, Uganda, for a revival meeting, and I was speaking that evening. And when I finished speaking on revival, I asked I made altar call. I asked those that want to get saved, come out. Who did I see? Among the crowd, it was a crowd salvation. Many people came out, but I spotted our son. I waited. Favor is coming out to give his life to Christ at age 12, and we have been with him in mission work all these years. What's going on? He made the salvation. He repeated what I said. Then after that, we called him. What did you do? You have heard him talk about he had a personal conviction. He said that was the day he had a personal conviction. So every now and then we kept on asking him, when did you get born again? The story has been consistent. It was when I was 12 years. It was when mommy made altar call at a revival meeting in Kampala that I got saved. So that tells you that we should allow our children to have personal conviction. We should pray for them for personal conviction. And secondly, that somebody is the child of a pastor does not make you automatically born again. So we should, and that children are coming to church does not make them automatically born again. There must be that conviction that this is the day I gave my life to Jesus. And I thank God for our tradition of appealing for salvation. Imagine if I did not appeal for salvation that day, if I was just a motivational speaker and finished and walked away, I would have deprived our own son the privilege of getting born again. So whenever you have opportunity to make altar call, make altar call. It may be your own flesh that will receive salvation. Now, before we now move to profession, that's the next place I'm going, I want to please ask you to share. And don't forget, tomorrow I have a date with you, 8 p.m. It will be Heaven Come Down in My Home. Prayer Turning Point, 8 p.m. tomorrow on this same page and YouTube, Pastor Obasi-ike's page. Our topic tomorrow's prayer meeting will be Heaven to Come Down, Jerusalem in our home. You will see the benefits of having a church that is informal in your home, and I'm going to pray for that presence of God and the power of God to be resident in your home. So make sure that you are with us. Share the flyer on the screen and everywhere, and make sure you are there 8 p.m. Also, there's one fantastic testimony among others that came in that I'll be sharing beginning with you tomorrow. Don't be late for tomorrow's meeting, 8 p.m. Favor, you are multi-gifted, you are multi-talented. You taught yourself drumming at age 6. When you were 6, you used to go to our choir stand after service to play drum, and we used to beat you, because we go there and break our stick. And those years, to buy one drumstick was a miracle. For daddy to be able to find money to buy one stick for drumming was a miracle. I remember one time that a couple felt we were overworked. That is Lester and Gladys Wako. The younger brother to the former Attorney General of Kenya, Amos Wako. When they felt that we were overworked, that we were overstretched, they said they are going to steal me and daddy to go and rest, that we need to rest. We have overworked ourselves. And they went and got us a place in Kindaruma, in Kilimani, Kindaruma, to go and have just one weekend, Friday, Saturday, then come to church on Sunday. And they paid for us, and we moved in there. We came in on Friday. Saturday morning, daddy said he was going to town. I said, what are you going to town to do? We came there to rest. He said, rest what? Our keyboard is with the technician. They are working on the keyboard. The keyboard is broken. We need to use it tomorrow. I said, Jehovah. So why did we leave our house in South Sea to come to Kindaruma? And this couple have wasted money to pay. He told me, you want to stay there and be doing holiday. Tomorrow in church, you'll be looking at me, I'll be looking at each other, no keyboard. My friend, I'm going to town. So I thought that when I tell him, if you are going to town, you better carry me, let's go home, that he will change his mind. I told him, if you are going to town, I better leave here because you are leaving me here alone. I want to go home. He told me, pack, get ready, put in the boot, let's go home. I looked at him, I said, what kind of a human being is this, for God's sake? That was the situation we were when you were breaking our sticks. So we used to beat you when you break one. That one was a lot of money. But thank God that through breaking sticks, you learned drumming by yourself. And when we were on holiday in California, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, thereabout, you were teaching me swimming because I've tried to learn swimming, I'm not able. So you told me, mommy, enter. I ask you, Favor, the way you are swimming, who taught you? You say you taught yourself. Yeah. You have actually taught yourself so many things. You say you just entered water and taught yourself. You saw your friends and you entered. You are so multi-gifted. You are so multi-talented. Can you tell us about your profession, your skills, and what you're doing now?
Yes, what I'm doing now is very, very centric to my career. Because like we've heard, I've been drumming since I was 6 years old, and I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about how I can, be a genius. Everybody says you're a genius. And like we said, we just started laughing about, Kiswahili and class. I was not really doing well in school when I was younger because I was focused on music. But because I had this zeal, I forgot a few things which were important, like education. So I now took it into consideration and started building myself, started learning. I remember when you came to my school for a swimming gala one day, and I was last place. I was last place.
St. Christopher's, Karen.
Yes, we did backstroke, and I was last place. So after that,
he was the last.
I was the last one. So I said, never again. So
and it was so fat, roundish.
Maybe it was my weight that was dragging the water. But later on, I was able to teach myself. I grew out of it, and I started becoming positive minded. So one of the things that have really, stuck with me is God, first of all, and knowing who you are in God. Because when you know who you are in God, you don't think about the human beings, because human beings are God-like. And if you're God-like, then you need to act like God. So God acts in ways that, he shows power. He's given us dominance over the earth. So we need to show it. We don't have to be, timid. So if I don't know how to do something, it doesn't mean I don't understand it. Maybe I'm not supposed to know it now, but the more I practice, the more I'll be able to gain that balance. And then by the time that opportunity comes, I can do it for myself. So that's what I've been able to do. And fast forward to now, I'm now the CEO of my own company called Work and Play Entertainment. And we're a creative hub where we're able to help people find their brands and give them a better standing. If they need websites, if they need logos, if they need a branding strategy, if they need to know more about Facebook, because we're in the technology world right now. So everything is changing. Look at us now. We're using Zoom. Before we were not using Zoom last year. This is a commodity for us. This is an asset for people who have webinars, who have meetings, who have conferences. So we're always changing. We're always adapting to something new. So that's what I now take pride in. And as a company, we're now able to give you guys quality products using platforms that you already have, but just a better way to make sure that you can reach your audience at the right time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Favor, I would like you to impact our viewers a bit.
Okay.
You need to whet their appetite. I know that you have online courses, you mentor people. So if you wouldn't mind, can you do a little teaching? Because one of the reasons why we do this program is to impact people, to make sure that they acquire more skill, to make sure that we, help them, inspire them. There are many people watching you today who are into business, but they don't know how to market it, to brand it, to make it visible. Would you be kind enough to do a few minutes lecture that people can take down notes and they can remember you for? Giving out. I say that life is about sharing the knowledge. You have done your first degree, you have done your first master's, you are doing MBA now, you have acquired so much skill. Can you share with the world the skill you have? Then maybe after you've shared, we can talk more about it. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will ask you to make sure you are taking down notes. You ask questions. It's now time for you to post questions as he's teaching. These are courses that when you learn and acquire the knowledge, you can run with it and your business will explode in leaps and in bounds.
Amen. Amen. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. And I'm going to start by giving you guys some insight about top secrets to social media. And I'm going to handle a few things today. I'm going to handle Facebook. I'm going to touch on Instagram. And I'm also going to touch on branding tips. I know people out here are also listening and they're on Facebook like we are right now. We're on Zoom, they're on Instagram. But I want to show you how you can make your time worth spent on Instagram and Facebook and any other social media you are on, including YouTube, to make sure that your brand is highly reputable. Before we go any further, please follow me on social media. I would love to connect with you. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, that's where business really takes place. And I can talk about that a lot. But today, I'm only going to touch on the first two, Facebook and Instagram. You can also visit my website, www.playinc.online, or you can send me an email at info@playinc.online if you have any requests after this, if you have any questions I may not have been able to answer. So please follow me on social media so that we can be able to get in touch. So let me go right into it. The first thing I want to tell you people, and everybody that wants to know about social media needs to know these ABCs. And I'm going to run them very quickly. The first one is authenticity. You have to be authentic. If you're not authentic with your brand, you're not going to stand the test of time. Why? Because people every day change. People have their own value systems. People have moral values. But for you as a brand, as you as a company, if you work in a company today for a job, if you own your own business, there's an authentic value that you present yourself with, and that's what you need to carry through social media. And when you carry it through social media, you're able to give yourself a strong standing so that people can enjoy what you're bringing to them on a daily basis. The next thing is brand value. Brand value is very key because when you have brand value, people can see you and they appreciate you because you're there. So when you build your brand, when you have a social media, if you have a Facebook, you have an Instagram, keep in mind that people are watching you. Even though you have 1 like or 2 likes or 3 likes, that doesn't mean anything. I'll give you a very quick example. Somebody on Instagram, I don't know her name in full, but she just signed a deal with Amazon for about $2.1 billion. You can check the news. You can Google that and see the Amazon partnership that happened. And if you look at this person's social media, she doesn't even have up to 10,000. She probably has under 5,000 followers and probably it's grown now. But the fact that she started it off, she took a screenshot, and I'm sure if you see her page and you just Google the Amazon, new partnership, you will see what I'm talking about. Brand value, you need to stay consistent. By staying consistent, you bring the right people in. Let's say you want to build a house today and you're not consistent. The moment you decide you're not going to build this house or add any more, cement or add any more tiling to your bed or to your frame, you're not going to get there because you're now at a halt. So you need to stay consistent. You need to have a drive. And once you have a drive, your drive is your passion. You need to have engagement. And engagement is very, very important when it comes to commenting. People like to comment, people like to like, people like to shy away. If you're a business owner or if you want to use social media for your business, please keep in mind that you need to be confident and you need to stay consistent, because once you have the drive, people can be able to follow you, you will experience growth, and people can be able to engage with you. Let me also let you know that when you have a website, your website is your land. I always tell people this, I always tell my clients, I treat websites like land. When you have a website, you have your security domain, you buy your land, you buy your property, you connect it to Google. Whatever you show on that website, whatever you show on that feed needs to present what you are in real life. And that, of course, now goes with interest. So if you're selling carrots, if you're selling vegetables, and you want people to buy your vegetables, you have to tell them the business behind it. You don't have to sell it to them first. You have to give them the benefits. Tell them what is the benefit of having this on my feed today. If I see tulips, if I see guava, if I see mangoes, what are these benefits to me? How am I going to create that interest for somebody? So social media needs to be very, very important. I need to tell you about the first three things you need to know about social media. One is that you have to have at least 3 social media platforms you're on, if not all. And the most important one should be Facebook, because Facebook has about 2 billion users a day. So you can literally use your Facebook marketplace, you can use Facebook points, and just have a time to spend with people online and also share knowledge. The more knowledge you share with people, the more they're going to trust you. The more they're going to trust you, the more sales you're going to have. It's that simple. Make it catchy, learn to listen, never sell first, and have open discussion. I'm going to tell you about Facebook pages very, very quickly. If you don't have a Facebook page, just know this fun fact that Facebook is known to have at least over 2 billion active users daily. And if you get 1% of that audience, you're already in competition. And that is very possible because you can be able to start a Facebook page at any time, even right now. Make sure that your name is very, very important. Keep in mind, when you're looking for names on Facebook, everybody has a name. You have a name right now. But if you have a name for your business, it has to stand out. And when it stands out, you need to have a brand, you need to have a logo. As we can see, this is my logo right here. It's a play logo, and it tells you a lot about what we do. When you now go inside through the website, you'd see what we talk about. I'm on podcasts. If you check out my We Don't Play podcast radio station on all platforms, you will see me and you will hear so many things I talk about and have interviews with guests on how to build their social media. Another very, very important thing is Facebook groups. When you have a Facebook page, please keep in mind, and this is something that is very underrated and undervalued. When you have a Facebook page, please create 2 groups. Create a public group and create a private group. The public group is to engage yourself in a community. When you have a Facebook page, you're only posting things that you want people to see, which is your business. But when you go into a Facebook group, you're now engaging with the people who actually like your Facebook page and people who are interested in what you do, because it's a public page. It's a community. When you're in a community, you share common values. So that's where you're able to interact. That's where you're able to engage. That's where you're able to ask questions. That's how you're able to know, okay, people don't like my product, or many people like this red product over the green one. So you have to know how to do it. And if you want to monetize your Facebook, you can also have a private Facebook group. And if you don't know this, but I'll give you a fun fact that Facebook had 3 groups back in the day before they changed their policy. They had Facebook public group, they had Facebook private group, and they had Facebook secret group. Now they only have public and private. And when you have a private group, you can literally use that link that you have on the URL at the top of your Instagram or at the top of your Facebook, where it shows the website URL. Copy that link and send that link to people on your email list, where you can be able to now engage with them and have a great time. Another thing is, when you now make pages, when you make posts, have between 50 to 250 words, because let me tell you guys this, everything that you do on Facebook, anything that you do on Instagram is going to go on Google. So whatever you write as a caption, whatever you have as a hashtag, one day it will come back to you based on what you said. So if you have a brand and you want to retain your consistent value, have a hashtag, have things that you can work with, that you can stay consistent with, so you can retain your brand value. And always use Facebook videos, because Facebook videos generates at least 1,200% more shares than text and image combined. So always use text, always use image, but always use video. And when you now use video, you can be able to grow your brand. I'm going to give you a quick example before we close on this Facebook matter. On Instagram, you know Facebook bought Instagram. And if you look to your left, you'll see that I made a post. And before I promoted this post, this is Promotion Insights, I had only 70 likes under 24 hours. And I was able to gain about 3.8 thousand likes with two saves, 8 comments. And I was able to reach people with $20, which is about 2,000 shillings. And I spread that across 1 week. So imagine if you have a budget, a 10% marketing budget with your company, and you're now, printing flyers, you're doing billboards, you're doing all this stuff, and take 10% of that into advertising. You can be able to plan your timeline well, search in advance, have hashtags, captions that count. And always keep in mind when you're running advertisements, the first 3 sentences matter. The first one is, what are you here for? The second one is, who has helped you, or who are you helping? And then the third one is a call to action. Never assume that people know what to do on social media. You always have to tell them, click here, learn more, sign up, tag a friend. If you don't say anything like that on your social media and keep it consistent, nobody will follow you. Nobody will search. Nobody will say anything because you're not giving them the stance to. Think about their location. Think about their age range. Everybody has a target market. You can't target everybody. You have to target the right people. Know what their interests are and know about budgets. That's what I talk about mostly in my Facebook ads on my online courses. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot of my website. If you go to www.playinc.online, this picture you see here on the left these are outfits that we have. And we have leggings, we have shirts, we have sweatpants, we have t-shirts. And if you also look at this too, you're going to see other things that we have, like bags, we have socks, we have, back to school items. We have amazing stuff. And I'm also wearing one right now. So if you can see what I'm wearing, it's called We Know They Play. And we have a very strong saying that when we don't play, we are not taking our time as a joke, because time is essential. We talked about Ecclesiastes in the beginning. Time is very essential to every man on earth. So when we now do what we do as a business, we don't play with our time. We don't play with people's clients or their money. We make sure that we give them optimum value for what they do. So we also now use fashion as a way of telling people, hey, we can extend a hand, we can give out charity, we can be able to be involved in the community in one way or the other. Very quickly, I'm going to go through this next few slides about business and branding tips, which is also another course that I have in my platform, and it's talking about the who. Did you know that 95% of people that use brands and use colors only have 2 colors in their logo? Think about it. Coca-Cola is yellow. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Coca-Cola is red and white. I'm looking at the gold color on my screen. Coca-Cola is red and white. Facebook is blue and white. YouTube is red and white. I know back in the day, I've been told Nakumat is no longer existing, but when I was there, Nakumat was blue and white. I know Tuskies is green, and I think there's a shade of yellow. So all these colors are there because they represent something to that brand. So when you have a brand, always make sure that your 2 colors are standing strong. And most of the colors that people use for food, if you have a restaurant, if you have any restaurant chain, make sure you use the colors on the red palette, which is red, orange, or yellow. If you think about McDonald's, they're yellow. Think about Wendy's, they're red. Chick-fil-A is red. Even Amazon, you can buy food from Amazon. It's a shade of orange. So it shows you that those colors are friendly to people. When you see yellow and you see Fanta Bambucha, you want to enjoy. So you have to think about colors that can bring people to your desk. If you put green and you're trying to sell food, you won't really get that audience, because green does not associate with that. It mostly associates with like plantation. If you have a non-governmental organization kind of vibe, that's what you can do with it. So keep in mind the colors that you use. Who is a brand? A brand is a personality, a symbol, a product, or a service, depending on the audience you meet. I was telling Mommy the other day about how Amazon is changing right now. And Amazon is getting to a point where they're kicking people outside of their stores. People that own stores are going to be leaving very soon, because what will be happening is that as you're shopping on Amazon, now that you have an account, very soon in the next coming years, we're going to have Amazon physical storefronts that you can be able to walk in and walk out without having to deal with staff. Because now we're thinking about robots, we're thinking about automation, we're thinking about easier ways to get work done. So if you evolve as a brand, you will always stay on top of the line. So you have to have a brand that stands out and speaks out for yourself. There are 4 reasons for branding. There's awareness, there's sustainability, there's competition, and there's purpose. If you have a brand and you're aware about your brand, you will know that somebody will say, hey, I can see that Coca-Cola brand because I saw it on TV, or I saw it on a newspaper, or I saw it on my phone. Because you're aware about something, your cognitive retention is going to tell you that you can be able to now do this and translate that symbol or that color into something tangible, whether it's food, whether it's a bank, whether it is something that is beneficial to you. Sustainability is another great thing. If you don't stay consistent with your social media, please just stop, because if you don't stay consistent and you stay sustainable, you will not get the yielding results that you want. If you keep on saying, hey, I've spent $100 or I've spent 100,000 shillings on this ad and I didn't see any fruit, it's not because the 100 was not available for use or for return on investment. It's because you didn't have a strategy, or you didn't have a consistent game plan that was able to keep the minds of hearts of people that this is what you're trying to do. If I tell you that the sky is green as a baby, and you grow up and you think the sky is green, you'll believe the sky is green because you have been told that. So that's what branding is. The more you see, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you feel. The more you feel, the more you do. So you have to stay in competition, and most importantly, understand your purpose. And last but not least, this is something that I'm just doing in summary. Have people on your team. Even though you're an entrepreneur like I am, I have a team. I don't work by myself. I have people that I even pay. I have people that I work with, because I know that their skills, their wisdom, and their input is very, very beneficial to my life. If I was, let's say I own Safaricom, for example, and I was the only person working there, I'm going to be stressed. I won't have time for family. I won't have time for myself. I won't even have time to eat. But when you have a chain of people who are better than you, who know better than you, you can pay, you literally take off 50% of the load. And now you focus on what you know best. So have a lawyer, have someone that is handling your law, whether it's corporate law, civil law, family law, whatever kind of legal situation you're in. Find a lawyer. Have an accountant. An accountant is very important, because when it comes to taxing and filing, things can get really messy. And it's happened to even celebrities. So you need to make sure that your accounting is on point. This goes to church, this goes to banking, this goes to family planning. Anything that you have, you need to have someone that is superior and is very specialized in that training to help you get to the next point. Another thing you need is a manager. If you go to a restaurant today, there's a manager. If you go to a hotel, there's a manager. Anywhere you go is a manager. A manager shows what the brand represents. And that brand, when we all started from the beginning, you have to know that a brand is a representation of yourself. So that person that is a manager is representing that brand, and you have to stay consistent. Another one is a financial advisor. We all know who that is. And a mentor. A mentor is someone that is very, very important. You don't have to have a mentor physically. You can have a mentor. God is your mentor. That's first and foremost. But have somebody in your field who knows better than you, that has gone ahead of you. Either read their books, watch on YouTube, get their online courses, study them, pray about them, learn more about them, so that you can be able to learn more about yourself. And last but not least, have a protege. Anybody, even in the Bible, when people were about to, finish their purpose and, transition on into heaven, they passed it on. Even Jesus, when Jesus left, he passed it on. He gave us the Holy Spirit. There's a protege. There's someone to give the next baton to. We have kids, we have grandkids. We pass it on to our offspring. So don't do anything because you want to do it for yourself. Do it because people are watching you and you have a legacy to live. So those are the things I will leave you with. There's so much more to cover, but we don't have much time. But this is the best of the information I can give you for today.
Well, wherever you are, give Favor a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. I'm so proud to be your mom. I'm so proud that we have a son that can be of help to humanity and be able to bless people, to be able to be better in their businesses, in their careers. Please, folks, viewers, don't even log out for any reason. I pray for miracle of bundles, because I've seen your questions, your comments. But before we go into your questions and your comments, Favor.
Yeah.
Look at what you presented. I was looking at my time. You presented it in less than 20 minutes. And somebody can actually go back to this particular teaching and build an empire. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe you are not even aware, Favor is one of the board of trustees of Queen Esther's generation. He's one of the registered board of trustees of Queen Esther's generation, and he's been so helpful for us. Some of you may have been receiving bulk emails after QEG. That was his brain. I just shared something that I would like this thing to happen. He said, Mommy, I will do it for you. So every month after QEG, you receive some emails. It is from him. From there, he does one or two things. He manages my Instagram with one of my spiritual daughters there. So he's doing great work for us. Favor, do you have an online course, assuming somebody wants to register with you so that you can train the fellow, all these things you have accrued over the years? Are you able to train people online to make sure that their businesses have visibilities in this digital world?
Oh, yes, most definitely, I do. And the best thing about technology now is that I don't have to be there physically, and all we need to do is just set up a time, and we're there together, and you have my 100% full attention. So
you're freezing. You are freezing.
Oh.
We didn't get you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Or internet. Yeah, I didn't know that even Kenya internet is better than Atlanta internet. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So because we're on this show, I would definitely want to give I just want to do something really, really nice today before we close. And it's a first come, first serve basis. For a timeline of about 7 days between today and the next 7 days, there's an offer that I would love to give you. It's an offer where you can be able to now come on board with me for an hour, at least once a week for 4 weeks. And you can be able to actually have a recorded Zoom call with me, and we can be able to sit down for an hour, understand what your brand is, know what you need. If you're lacking in anything, we can be able to fix up the ends. And all this is going to be happening between 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how good or how important or how urgent your business or brand is. So usually I have an offer value of, the value right now is usually $250. But because I'm on this show and we're doing an amazing thing right now, and I want more people to learn, I'm only going to give it as a one-time offer of $100. And this is only available for 20 people. I repeat, this is only available for 20 people for the next 7 days. You're going to get the links and you will be able to access. All you need to do is just put in your name, put in your email. Let me know what part of social media you're interested in. All that is there inside the link. You make your payment. Once you schedule your event, that is going to be locked in. And once it's locked in, I will see it. You will see it. You'll get a text reminder. You'll get an email reminder, so that we do not, because I know we're talking about time zones, but I'm very, very strict with timing. So if you schedule a time for me and say you want my time for an hour, I will be there because you have scheduled it. So please go ahead, do what you need to do. And for 7 days, this offer is only available for 20 people at a value of $100, which is already at a $250 value. So I'm looking forward to talking to you, letting you know what YouTube does. Now I can be able to, for example, like we're on Facebook Live right now. If you have a Facebook page, there's an app that I can be able to tell you about how you can go on live on all your social media platforms at the same time. At the same time. So let's say you have 2 business pages, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you're so confused. There's a way we can consolidate all that and schedule in advance, so that social media is not worrying your day and it's not taking away your time from family and from the most important things about your business objectives for the day.
Wow. Favor, thank you so much for your generosity and your kindness. You have always been a kind fellow. When we were living in KMA Estate, my greatest problem with you was that every time we baked cake, after baking, before I come down, you have taken the whole cake to the estate. And you'll be sharing to all the children, and I'll be screaming, God, God have mercy, because this cake was to preserve this family for 1 week. It was cake that was meant for you to take to school, to kindergarten. As soon as I finish baking and I go upstairs, coming down, my cake will be in the compound. He's calling everybody, my mother has baked cake, come, and then we finish the cake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right now on this, our page, I believe that our media people, specifically our sister Apollonia, is uploading the links for Favor's registration. There are 2 links there. One link is for those who use PayPal and those who use Visa card, those who are familiar with that. Another one is for everybody who uses M-Pesa. So if I were you, I will invest 10,000 Kenya shillings, $100, to gain 1 million, because we are living on a digital platform world for business. You don't need the money you would have used to rent a shop and be paying per month, maybe 100,000, 50,000. God has given us cheap ways to do business. You don't need to rent a shop. You need only to invest 10,000 only to just pay. Go to that link. I'm sure our sister is always sharp and smart. The people in our media, I'm sure Apollonia has uploaded them. The first link, if you are following the one of PayPal, you will think you are scheduling an appointment for American Embassy visa, because the way Favor has packaged it, I said, Jehovah, it is like I am scheduling an appointment for a visa, but that is the way to understand this, because tomorrow you will go for visa scheduling. So you don't need to go to cyber cafe and be telling them, help me to do this. And yet you want to go to Europe, you want to go to Australia, you need to learn these things now. So go there and schedule, be the 20 first people, the 20 that will benefit from this training, that will boost your business, put you on all social media platforms and branding. In fact, a friend of mine who has been living in America for so many years called me not long ago when pandemic came. She needed to make her ministry visible. She didn't know what to do because she has not been on social media. She called me and said, my sister, I'm in trouble. What do? I don't know what to do. I told her, talk to my son. He said, give me the number. She said, give me the number. I gave her the number. She spoke to Favor. Today, as I'm talking to you, she is eternally grateful. She registered with Favor. Favor took her through so many classes. And today, she is in social media doing her ministry. What is 10,000? That is a chicken fee for somebody who wants to invest into her business. And you have heard that this offer is ending by this time next week. So it's not an eternal offer. It is an offer he's giving you so that he can block his time and take you through, help you to brand your business, brand your company, brand your ministry, brand your life, and put you on the global platform. If he could teach what he has taught us in less than 20 minutes, I wonder what he will teach in 4 classes in a week. You said it will be 1 hour per week, isn't it? So it's flexible.
Yeah, it's very flexible. So you pick an hour, and for 4 weeks, at least every week, you're going to spend 1 hour with me. So let's say you have a meeting with me tomorrow. The next time you have a meeting with me will be the next week for an hour until we're done with those 4. And the best part about it is that we're going to record that session, and you're going to have your own copy. So when we are talking, I will email you a follow-up, you have a survey, and then you'll be able to now work so that by the time we meet the next week, you'd have stuff that you'd have really worked on for your business. So I'm going to give you resources, I'm going to give you materials, I'm going to give you a lot of links, I'm going to give you some books that you can check out so that by the time you're done with me, you will be far more equipped in how to build your business, because there are so many little things that you may not know about social media and how to even get your name on Google. It's not hard. It's very easy. It's just planning. So these are things I can be able to show you from the back end until we can be able to meet your potential need.
Use this opportunity. Don't let it go if you're wise. If you're wise, invest into your tomorrow, invest into your life. If you know the things I have acquired, skills I've acquired within this pandemic, you will not believe it. I am coming out as an IT pastor, serious IT pastor. So you need to invest into your career. Don't be stingy to yourself. Don't be stingy, and don't be somebody that is without knowledge in this time. So those 20 people, if you are using M-Pesa, you will notice that we have given you QEG phone number, because Favor doesn't use M-Pesa in Atlanta. So what you do, if you pay in your money within the next 1 week, please make sure you follow up with a text that this is for training with Pastor Favor. so that we don't divert the money to Kitengela or to something else. So you write, this money is for training. We will see a way to pack it and see how to transfer it to him. Then you will schedule. If you don't know how to go through the kind of scheduling he has put there, because it's high-tech scheduling, if you don't know how to do it, just pay your money and he will get back to you. Now, those of you into business, I want to tell you one thing I had on CNN not long ago, and it has been confirmed by him. You need a bulk email. Anybody that passes your way in life, get their emails. Later, he will help you the way he's helping QEG to package them well and all those stuff, so that assuming you have things, you have maybe you are selling orange, or you are selling fish, or you are selling vegetable. Once they are in your hand, you send a massive email. It may go to 10,000 people that you have your product at the same time, but everything customized with the fellow's name, your customer's name. Remember what Billionaire George taught us. Let your customers know that you know them by name, you value them. This is the way we do it in QEG. We send you email with your name, thanking you for being our fan. You can take the same thing to your business. So 20 people, make sure you register, and you register immediately between now and next Sunday. Then it can take you through and you will never regret it. Now, I want to take questions before I now say something about pressure cooker. I have preached with you a lot. I have preached with you a lot with pressure cooker, and I want to ask you how you felt that Sunday after you were beaten for opening the mouth of my pressure cooker. But before then, let me pick some questions for you. Please, everybody stay tuned and make sure you are sharing to help other people. Maybe you are a CEO, you need a training for your corporate, your staff. Favor, I believe you can do a group training.
Yes, I can.
All right, let's begin. Question number 1. This is from Canada, from Rosalind. Professor Rosalind, how did you navigate any pressure as a pastor's son in terms of character and how everybody expected you to behave? You are a pastor's child, not just pastor's child. Your mother, your father, both are pastors and missionaries, and people have expectation for you. How do you navigate to keep the family heritage and values?
The first thing I will go by saying is that I'm a very big believer, and I'm very strong in faith. And by faith, I usually practice it a lot by fasting. And with fasting, I've learned a lot about how to maintain discipline, how to stay on track, because every month we need God. So as I go through my daily life, I know that people have things to do. You know, my parents are pastors, but that does not devalue, it doesn't add value, it doesn't change me. What it does is that it equips me to know that, okay, this is what God has put in our hearts, because everybody has a purpose, everybody has an assignment. So my assignment may be different from my parents' assignment, but I'm definitely going to do it in accordance to God's will. So according to pressure, I didn't really feel any pressure, to be honest. The only pressure, if I want to say pressure, is maintaining the standard. And that is something that I've been able to do across the years, because I've gone to school, I've learned a lot about myself, a lot about business, a lot about ministry. My mom is a certified doctor. You know, she's done all the religions you can think of. You know, she knows the ins and outs. So when I look at that and I understand and I see, and I also learn in my own life, I apply it. So when I apply it, I know that this is something that God expects of me. And that way I'm able to stay true to myself and stay true to God, because we're not perfect. But at the end of the day, because I'm maintaining that goal and I have something at the back of my mind which tells me that heaven is my destination, I do the best I can in my human ability to get there.
Thank you. That's a very wonderful thing. Our being pastors are not influencing who you are. You are who you are because you know God as an individual. But now, being pastors is giving you a standard that you cannot go below. Before I say something there, please, I want to remind you, this is 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Don't miss my prayer meeting, 8 p.m. tomorrow on this page. Heaven come down. Let his glory come down in my home. Please make sure you don't miss my prayer. Invite as many as possible. For the first time, let's go beyond 400 on Facebook and beyond 200 on YouTube. Let's be in thousands praying for the glory of God to come into our homes tomorrow, 8 p.m. with fantastic testimonies. Don't forget. Now, favor to add to what you have said, because there could be there are pastors that are watching us, or leaders in church that are watching us. Something happened when you were in Rusinga. You were suspended. Because somebody said here, Favor, you are too real. Andrew Muniafu said, wow, Favor, you are for real. I like the way you recognize that you had normal failures, but we are able to walk through them with God as a central focus in your life. Thank you so much, Andrew. Because of this comment, I want to say there was a time Favor was suspended from school. And what did he do? He beat up somebody. He fought with somebody. When he came home, that was Rusinga. When he came home and he narrated, one thing about our children is that both of them don't tell lies. Favor and Good News don't tell lies. I can't remember any time they told us something and it was not true. So when he came home, we asked him why you were suspended. He explained what happened. That there was a boy that used to beat him every time in school, by embarrassing him publicly. And he kept tolerating the boy, kept on enduring the boy. But this time, one day, was it French class? What class was it? It was French. They went to French class, and this boy intentionally, in the presence of other children, removed his seat. As he wanted to sit down, he didn't know that the boy removed the seat, and he sat on the floor and fell down, and other children started making jest, began to jest him. So that was when he got angry and pushed the boy, and they started fighting, and it was a big fight. So because of that big fight, he was suspended. When he finished telling the story, hey, my husband said, Daddy said, they suspended you because you beat up somebody that has been harassing you. They are jokers. I am going to that school to tell them, in fact, Favor, if you did not beat up that fellow, I would have beaten you up. Daddy was telling him, that fellow has been beating you and you have been keeping quiet. If you had fallen down and you didn't beat him and you come back here, I would have beaten you, Favor. You did the right thing. And I'm going to go to the school, and which teacher is that suspended you? Because I know Daddy. I pleaded with him. I said, let me go to the school myself. He said no. I said no, I am the one. Because if you went there, it should be another story. I said no, let me go. So I went. When I got there, I met the teachers, and they told me exactly the same story. And I asked them, why should you suspend the righteous? Somebody has been embarrassing this boy, harassing him. Only for the first day he reacted, you chased him away and chased the other boy. They said, Pastor, what we expected was that he could have reported the boy. I said, how long will he be reporting the boy? When we were growing up in school, you keep beating somebody. One day, that fellow will beat you thoroughly. After that fellow has beaten you thoroughly, you measure your strength. You give respect to who respect was due in school. So that was how we were brought up. So I started talking to the teacher. But I think behind the teacher's mind, this is a pastor's child, because he's a pastor's child. Anybody can beat him up in school and walk away. Because if he fights, how can a pastor's child fight? So after we spoke, they actually apologized and told me they will recall both him and the other boy, but next time, Favor, anything that is not pleasant, he should come and report. Daddy said that is not the way. He will report it, but when it becomes oppression, he should fight for himself. He said, there's no way I will bring up cowards as my sons. My sons cannot be cowards. But you see, that thing was because he's a pastor's child. How can a pastor's child fight? I think it is important that we differentiate between our children and our work. Let them grow up knowing the Lord themselves and living like any other normal child, but not in disgrace. When they understand their rights in the kingdom, let's allow them to live their lives. All right.
Yeah.
Favor Linda is saying, hi, Flav, how can you put traffic to your social media account, both personal and for business? Just use 1 minute, because this is part of what this fellow should register for. Right. Linda, I will advise you to pay 10,000 shillings and get this thing, because that's a teaching of his own. But just say one thing in 1 minute so that we can ask other questions.
Okay, I'll be very quick, and I'll also give you something you can use to stay. First of all, on Instagram, you have a business account and you have a personal account, and there's also something called a creator account. When you have a business account, any business account on Instagram allows you to see insights. You're able to see what ages of people are watching you, what countries they're watching you from. Anything to do with your social media is going to be shown in your Instagram highlights. So the best way to gain traffic is to, first of all, like I said in the beginning, you have to stay consistent. And by staying consistent, you have to find the peak times. And that on the inside section, it will be able to tell you. You can find the peak times that people are online on your feed, and then you feed them consistently. If you feed a baby every day, the baby is going to grow. If you starve that baby all week, that baby is going to be crying, and there'll be problems. So treat your social media like you treat your body when you eat food. However you put yourself in that position, whatever brand you're putting out there, stay consistent. Stay consistent. And there are so many measures on how to measure your consistency, but the most important thing is keep posting and also comment on other people's posts. Don't just be a ghost.
Absolutely.
Comment on other people, add value to their posts, add value to your business. If you're in the real estate business, add value to other people, give them tips, tell them a few things so that they can recognize you. Instagram is going to know that you're a credible source. That way, the more consistent, and the key word is consistency, that's when you're going to break through. You won't break through overnight, but you will break through successfully.
Thank you so much. Somebody is watching you from Nigeria by the name Yemisi Fajuke Aderiboye. She's asking, is this only for Kenyans? Is this only for Kenyans? So answer, she wants to be trained. Is it only for Kenyans?
No. This is a global, this is a global coaching that I do with everybody. Once you click on the link in the description that has been put for you, either one of the two links will take you to be able to schedule a call with me. A few people have already scheduled a call with me. Thank you. I've been able to see them. And right now, the best thing for me to tell you is that when you're now doing that, it is something that we can talk to on a personal level, whether you're in Germany, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Australia. Using that link, Zoom is universal. As long as you're able to tell me what you need and we can put that in a schedule format, that will be something that we can do together. I also have online courses that are self-paced. You can email me at info@playinc.online, and you can be able to reach out to me. But most importantly, the link in the description will lead you to the best, fastest way to get to me. And then that way we can be able to now build your social media together. I've had interviews with people in Ukraine. I've had interviews with people in Uganda, in Tanzania, just based on interaction. And also that's on my podcast. If you want to know more about me too, check out my podcast, because I have episodes on episodes. I've been doing podcasting for about a year now, teaching people about branding, the psychology of color. So anything that you need to know about branding, let me know. But first of all, go to the link in the bio so that you can be able to reach out to me on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, Favor, I also think it will be important for lay people who may not use that your engine of application to write you an email. So okay. Yeah, maybe you can write your email. I don't know whether there's a way you can project it here so that they copy your email, they can handle you. I want to thank Professor Rosalind Okech from Canada. She says, I want to sponsor one fellow now. Are you hearing? Yes, Rosalind, you remain one of the best daughters I ever had, and we have. So Rosalind is offering somebody who is into serious business right now an opportunity to be trained on this. So she will be paying $100 for you. I don't know who you are. Make sure you're number one to register. I don't know how we are going to know who you are, but whoever you are, make sure you go to that link now, register, so that when we are looking at it, we say, hey, whoever is number one is serious. Then we can give you that $100 free and run you through the training. All right. All right. Somebody is saying, this is Clary Roberts is saying, these are awesome lessons, Favor. You are truly making use of your skills and your talents. Keep soaring high like an eagle and receive grace to do greater exploits for God and the society at large. As a matter of fact, let me say, if you are a minister of God and you need somebody to manage your online things, you can get in touch with him. There is a powerful woman of God that is a powerhouse in America. I am so glad that Favor manages her ministry, everything about her ministry online, and giving that woman a powerful what is it called, visibility in the ministry. And this is a woman of God to reckon with. She's a force, she's a powerhouse, and Favor manages every month her things are online. All right, somebody is saying wow, Rose Ngundo is saying, wow, this is great and very powerful. I am proud of what you are doing, Pastor Favor. Thank you for sharing this knowledge. God bless you always. Of course, there are many comments I cannot read. Somebody is saying, please, do you have an outlet in Kenya? How can I make an order of your items? Of course, Favor, you are in fashion. All the brands you are showing are your brands. You are the one that do them. So somebody in Kenya wants to be your outlet. How can you link up with that individual?
The first thing I would say is go to my website or follow me on social media. Let me know who you are. And then secondly, you can send me a direct message on Facebook and you can reach out to me. But most importantly, I've been having a great desire to bring my clothes and my outfits to Nairobi. And, you know, thanks to a lot of connections and, you know, just information, I've been able to find a way to, you know, ship out clothes to you. So very soon, very, 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 very soon. And I'm talking as soon as either towards the end of this year or as early as first thing in January, you'll be having my outfits in Nairobi, because now I found a way to channel it. I have a place I can be able to house it. And by God's grace, we can be able to make it happen. So don't worry, it's going to be shipped. It's going to be there. And when it's there, you will definitely be the first to know about it.
Thank you so much. Favor, somebody by the name Regina Ngwili says, hallelujah, I have already registered. I am in Texas. She's she's based in Texas, USA, and she has already registered for the course. I'm sure after this meeting, we begin to update you about the registrations that is going on. I tell you, brethren, you cannot allow this to go, whether you're born again or you are not born again. You need this information. You need to be thoroughly equipped to ensure that in this pandemic and after, that you are excelling. Somebody is saying, Pastor Favor, how do you juggle between ministry and work since you are not in full-time ministry yet? You know, you started a bit earlier. You must have missed out. They must have missed out when you talked about how you go to church early enough. So just in 1 minute, for the sake of the fellow who missed it, can you tell them how you go to church early enough to set up equipment, what you do in church, and how you balance in 1 minute, please?
First of all, I spend at least an hour before church begins to take care of the ministry as far as media is concerned. At my church, I'm the head of the media to start with. So if you're thinking about ministry or thinking about where I serve in church, I serve in the media department because that's where my strength is at. I'm also a drummer. So I play the drums and I also, you know, work with the media at the back. So I'm able to help them with their social media, their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, even how to give tithe and offerings online. I've been able to build a website for them. So it's just based on interaction and what I know as a profession. I've been able to apply that into the ministry and also into the marketplace. The same model that I use to, you know, spread the gospel for a client that is an international speaker is the same way I would do it for a corporate business, because they have values and missions and vision statements, you know, that govern their business. So I'm very, very business mode formatted when I'm able to create that connection with you. And ministry is good. Even you as well, you're a minister too in one form or the other. But how you show that you are consistent and you stay true is by what you do, the acts that you do. You don't be saying, oh, I'm going to come. When you don't show up and people need you, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because think about it, you're doing this for God. So if you're doing it for God, then God will reward you at the right time. So that's how I do it. I just pay my tithe, I take my time, I have my faith, and I'm very, very consistent. Sometimes we may not be because we're human beings, but because I know my ultimate goal, I stay consistent so that I'm able to not fall off at all.
And one of the things, Favor, you did that impressed Daddy and I was that you intentionally looked for a house that was close to church. When you were looking for a house, one of your attractions was, I want to live closer to church so that I am able to help church. So you got a house that I think 15 minutes drive.
Yeah, 15 minutes drive.
15 minutes drive to church. So you see, when you are passionate about God's kingdom, even when you are looking for a house, part of your priorities is, I want to live close to church so that I'm able to be of service anytime, night and day, to God's people. Now, somebody who is your mother, Kenyan mother, is commenting. You remember who you used to pour her handbag down looking for chocolate? Who is that?
Mommy Langat.
Mommy Langat. When you were small, every time she came home from the road, Mommy Langat, you will take a handbag, pour on the ground looking for chocolate. She's saying, well done, Pastor Favor. That is excellent work you are doing for the community. God bless you. The same thing, Pastor Florence Juma is thanking God for you. You know them. RCC Solution ministers. Mama Langat, God bless you. You are part of this boy's story. And Pastor Florence Juma, God bless you for cheering us up for what we are doing here. Somebody is saying, Favor, may God bless you abundantly for your generosity with information. I agree. You have been so generous with information tonight. Another fellow says, thank you so much for the information and God bless you. These are all Facebook. I've not even gone to comments on YouTube.
Wow.
Okay, from YouTube was when they asked you how you juggle between work and ministry. All right. So now I want us to do one or two other things before we finish because time is fast spent. Don't forget to share. Please don't forget to share so that others can learn and go back to what he taught. Go back there. Take your note, apply it in your businesses, in your corporations, in everything. And Favor, is interesting to know that some of the things you are talking about, get a lawyer, make sure you file for tax, make sure you are in good book with tax and all those things. We had a meeting yesterday on Zoom with about 65 women that normally do economic empowerment of Queen Esther's generation. For the last 2 years, we have been doing economic empowerment and we ask people to register. So those women that registered for 2 years, we brought them together yesterday on a Zoom to speak with the chairperson of Kenya Commerce and Industry here to see how they can be funded. And they told them before even funding, we need to put you through of how to put your paper right as a business fellow. Before anybody will talk to you about giving you any money, they need to see that you are serious. What they taught is what we've been teaching our women for the last 2 years in our economic empowerment. Perfectly. What we've been telling them how to put their papers right, how to package themselves so that when opportunity meets them, they will maximize it. And tonight again, you have said it. So there is no shortcut in business. Absolutely no shortcut. I tell them, one of the young boys in media that we helped with only 50,000 to start a business. Just this month of that past July, he made a profit of 45,000 from 50,000. 2 months ago, he made a profit, I think, 40,000. This guy is doing so much. But why? Because when we were ready to help him with money, he was ready with his papers. It was not the one of, I want to help you, then I wait for you for 6 months to go and put your papers ready, because money does not wait for anybody. Opportunity does not wait for anybody. You need to first package yourself as you now tell God to help you. All right, Favor, as we begin to wrap it up, because time is going seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday, I'll be bringing back Reverend Joyce Kariuki to finish our story. Remember, she said when she was praying who will be, whether the bishop proposal will work, she said in 7 days, God spoke to her. I said, so God speaks so easily like that? Some of us, some people are waiting to hear God. 2 years you've not had, 3 years you've not had. She said in 7 days, God spoke to her. We are bringing her back on this Keep It Real show next Sunday to know, how does God speak to you? When somebody proposes to you, how do you know that this is God's plan? How do you know that this fellow is God's will? How do you know that I'm supposed to marry this fellow? Then we will ask her some other questions that are very relevant for our time. Don't miss the show of Reverend Joyce and myself next Sunday, 8 o'clock, Keep It Real. As we begin to wrap up right now, don't forget to register Immediately after this meeting, we will go online and we will write the names of people who have registered and we send it to you, Favor. And please, perhaps you can also give us your email address, your phone numbers, so that he can get in touch with you directly and begin to mentor you and give you visibility. As we round up right now, because it's almost 20 past, Favor, that day when you broke our pressure cooker, you know, on a Sunday morning, the pressure cooker that was everything to us, powerful property that was helping us to cook and reduce our gas. You went and pieces it with hand. And that day I descended on you. I said, Favor, no. So that was the first time ever you were quiet in our service at Kirichua, RCCG Redemption. You said, because I beat you and you were feeling bad and you were feeling pain. How did you feel that day? And what were you looking for in the mouth? How were you looking for the mouth of pressure cooker?
I think the reason why I was looking for something was because the noise was too loud. So that noise was irritating me. So, you know, I'm a sound person. So in my ear, I was getting irritated by the constant ringing of that noise. So I was trying to find a way to stop the noise from coming. I wasn't trying to stop the cooking because I knew it was on the fire, but I was trying to see how to stop the pressure. But I didn't know that that's why it's called a pressure cooker. I didn't know. So I ended up pressing on it, trying to stop it. It fell. And then it was down into pieces. And that was the only one you said that you had. And then in church, I was quiet. I mean, I didn't know what to do because, you know, after being descended on like that, you just have to stay patient and stay humble so that you can. And then I was still feeling from the morning, you know, so it wasn't like, it was still fresh. So I just knew ever since then, I should not go to the kitchen for any pressure cooker.
Anyway, today I apologize to you publicly for that, because what you said to me that day was that you were looking for the mouth. I asked you.
Stop the thing from making noise, because it had a little stopper, and then there was the other thing. So I was looking for the mouth so that it can close that noise that is making noise, because it was open. So I didn't find it.
I didn't know that God created you to be a sound fellow. You see, for you, that thing, because you are created to have sound inclination, you felt it was making too much noise. We need to reduce the noise because you love a balanced sound. For me, that she was showing my food is cooking. So my food was cooking. So to have gone there to pieces my pressure cooker, I did not take it kindly. But today I understand better, because I normally say, if you were born in a family from the Western world, and they saw how you can use bare hands like David to tear the lion, the pressure cooker, they would have known that you are born a great boy, that you will handle machines and stuff like that. But you see, from Africa, for us, money comes first. My poverty that time, I didn't want to know whether you were born to be a sound fellow or what. I had to really teach you little lesson that Sunday. But thank God it was a mild one. It was not a big beating. I beat you according to your age. Pim at the back of your buttocks. Pam, pam. And I thank God you learned the lesson. But today I'm grateful that you are still who God has made you to be. Thank you so much for being on this show. We will definitely get in touch with you. Somebody is the fellow you have been teaching in America has written. He said, wow, the woman I spoke about, my friend, that you helped to navigate her ministry. Sister Ngo, she has written, Nkemo, that's my maiden name. Wow, Favor is wonderful. I learned a lot. Thank you for sharing. I want to schedule an appointment to talk with you. Thank you, Favor, for being on this show. Thank you so much for what you've taught us. And I pray that those you will be mentoring are youth to maximize their potential. We thank God for this show. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord cause his face to shine upon you. The Lord be gracious unto you and keep you, protect you from every plague in America, and keep making you a blessing to RCCG Peace Assembly in Georgia. Thank you. God bless you from Nairobi, Kenya. Is good night. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching us tonight. The Lord bless all of you. I'll see you tomorrow in our evening, on our evening sacrifice prayer, 8 p.m. I'll see you on Wednesday, Faith Clinic. I'll see you on Friday with Daddy's prayer hour. I'll see you on Take the Bull by the Horn on Saturday. I'll see you on Sunday service. I'll see you Sunday evening on Keep It Real with Reverend Joyce Karaoke. Favor, I love you. We love you. We are so proud of you. God bless you and have a good week.
Amen. Thank you so much. Bye.
Say something in Swahili before I sign off.
Siku njema.
Lala salama.
Lala salama. Tuonane baadaye.
Amen.